good morning. Welcome. I am Deborah. This is Purusha Intuitive, and we are looking at the daily energy. So thank you so much for your time and energy always, just in joining, listening in. I hope you find messages that resonate always. If you don't, well, I should say take what you want, leave the rest behind. And if you don't, you know, Spirit is always trying to speak to us. However, whatever you believe, however you ascribe, there's messages, symbolism, synchronicities that cross our paths each day. Sometimes we don't want to hear the messages, right? Hence why we, kind of tune out, or sometimes it's hard, right? Sometimes it's humbling to hear things that we don't want to hear or see things that we don't want to see. Right now is really the time to be aware, to be mindful, to take that watchful eye. I'm recording this on Monday. It is ruled by the moon. So as a heads up, these readings are fluid in terms of they're timeless, is what I want to say. So anytime you come across it, if it resonates, then it's definitely a message meant for you. But they are it is Monday, Moon Day. The moon rules our emotion, our feeling, our intuition. This growth and support energy is coming up for you today. It goes back to that first channeled message that a lot of times when we take a step back and we are more of the observer versus reacting or, trying to force something to happen, it gives us more information and how to better deal with the situation at hand. The moon can be tricky, right? Because it does bring up a lot of our emotions, our feelings. We are heading into a new moon. Today's the 11th, so tomorrow is the new moon in Sagittarius. It's a nice energy in terms of that fire, expansion, growth. Sagittarian energy always wants to evolve, to find the bigger, the better thing. So it's a really great time right now. I would say today, like what I'm hearing is checking in with your emotional state. How are you feeling? How are the people, places, and things that you're surrounding yourself with making you feel? Those are all really good indicators as to whether something is serving us or not. I love in the Abraham Hicks series, it's a beautiful, they have a bunch of books. I think they do conferences and stuff like that too. It's really cool though. They focus a lot on what it actually means to manifest and in this practical way. So often we think of manifestation as woohoo or magic or, but there is a rhyme to the reason, there is a formula, so to speak. And our emotions, how we feel about something is going to dictate how long it takes to get to us, so to speak, right? If we want to make more money, find a new job, buy a better house, etc. If we're afraid that that's not going to happen, or we doubt ourselves, we don't believe that we can do it, then it's going to take a lot longer for that manifestation to come in. That's why it's so important to take care of ourselves, right? Wellness, health, eating well, getting some exercise, rest, meditation, those types of things, they really kind of give us a strong foundation, a strong platform to live the life that we want to live. Life is crazy. It's a shit show. It's very messy. Oh, I love this. Sagittarian energy comes out. But the craziness, the messiness is helping us grow beyond, right? It is the dynamism that forces us to look at things and say, this really isn't working for me. How can I switch it up? How can I find something that is more in alignment? And then we tap into that creative potential, which the moon is also very creative as well. It's that feminine energy, and it's ruled by the sacral chakra, which I love because the sacral chakra is what we birth into being, right? What we bring into this world, regardless of what gender you are. It is that action potential of birth. And so again, going back to that, how do we feel? How do we feel about ourselves, about our environment, about where we're at in life, what we're dealing with, etc. And how can we make some changes to be kinder to ourselves, right? To be kinder, more loving, more supportive. That's what the moon is all about. And ironically, it's a Monday, wah, you know. So always kind of hard to get back into the grunt and grind. But when we approach the day in terms of, you know, being gentler with ourselves, allowing ourselves to feel our emotions, not being afraid of what those emotions are, because we are not our emotions, right? We feel things, but when we are open to them, when we allow them to flow, then they pass through us, especially the ones that like are not as fun or a little bit more icky. Instead of shoving things down, which causes blockage, causes disease, it doesn't allow us to live at our best self. When we're open to the flow, we feel, we receive, we understand, and then we take that action and move forward. So the nice thing about today, I will say, astrologically, is that the main aspect is Mercury is sextile to Venus. So Mercury is about to go into retrograde tomorrow evening, December 13th. We're in the shadow stage, the station period. So we're kind of getting ready for more, you know, well, we're in the holiday season, which is awesome because retrogrades usually give us an opportunity to take that step back and really pay attention. And Mercury governs our communication, contracts, how we show up in our daily activities with those around us, those in our surrounding environment. And it's currently in Capricorn energy right now. Capricorn is very, you know, I want to say intense, but it's just a very, very strong energy. It is earth energy. It's, you know, it can probably carry the brunt and the burden if you're a Capricorn or you have heavy placements in Capricorn in your chart. You know this. It's strong. It's like, to me, it's like that energy that can just push through. I keep seeing this man like climbing up the mountain with this big boulder on his back, right? That is Capricorn energy. And with it being sextile to Venus, the more we tap into those feelings of it's more about honoring ourselves. Yes, acknowledging how we feel about situations, but honoring those feelings as well that come up. The easier it's going to be to kind of navigate through this Mercury retrograde. I'll do a video on that. That's my intention. Hopefully I'll get that out tonight for you. But yeah, so just be really conscious, be really mindful. Venus wants us to be a little indulgent in the right way, if that makes sense. You know, indulge in positive things that make you feel beautiful, that make you feel lovely, that make you feel put together, you know, that, again, remind you of why you love your life and all that surrounds you. The one aspect to the moon today is Uranus. Uranus is in retrograde as well. And Uranus is our energy of rebellion. It's in Taurus. So basically this talks about how we want to give a big fat F you to the things in our life that are not working. This is, you know, we want to let go of the constructs, the confinement is what I'm hearing. Taurus is also earth energy. So earth energy, it's heavy, it's dense. It can feel very limiting and restricting. And if we're feeling a certain kind of way about something, it's going to be easier to say like, nah, screw you or whatever. Or screw the situation, versus actually, you know, again, honoring our feelings, honoring our emotions that come up. when we honor those emotions, it gives us the opportunity to act from a more grounded space instead of out of that emotion and feeling. There's this concept of always trying to believe the best. Yes, don't put on the rose-colored glasses. Don't be ignorant about what's around you, who's around you, etc. That might throw that off. But at the same time, like I was saying, the more that we can honor that, understand it, acknowledge it, the easier it is going to be to process those emotions and feelings. All right, first energy, I think that's Saturn, right? Oh, Neptune. Ooh. Okay, so Neptune did go direct. I think irrelevant, but Neptune's in Pisces. So this, again, attaches its confirmation on that emotional front. Neptune is something that it's more of our spiritual center. It is connected to the otherworldly, so to speak. And with it in Pisces, it is maximizing that energy. If you're, there's been a lot of feelings is what I want to say lately. A lot of dreams. If you're having a lot of vivid dreaming, you're picking up a lot of intuitive messages throughout the day, etc. That is definitely that Neptune in Pisces energy. It can make things feel a little bit wonky. I like it because you can tune in and tap in, but sometimes that can be very overwhelming, right? Like it's been said, if we actually knew all that was going on in the spiritual world, all the different components that were working, what people were doing, saying to us, etc., we probably wouldn't be able to handle it, right? Because it can be a lot. We're given only what we can handle. So moving from that place of strength. Yeah, okay, so intuition is huge, huge, huge today, guys. Really being, really kind of just, I would encourage you to set aside some time to meditate, quiet time, prayer, whatever works for you. This is going to help settle your soul. It does feel like it is going to be a little bit of a heavy day, and it's probably going to placate on how you feel about yourself, your worth, your value, how you're showing up, etc. So be really mindful with that Leo energy. You could also have a Leo in your environment who is, kind of projecting onto you. At this channel, I don't really want to get into the fear mongering. I think it's not valuable. It's good to know when people are not for us, when they're against us, etc. But I think at the same time, if we keep putting energy into that, then that's going to be what consumes us. So moving forward, that's like my little disclaimer. I will touch on things when I see them, obviously, but I feel like for some of you, there is someone who is really obsessing, is what I hear. There's a lot of fixated energy on you, on what you're doing. This could be the emotion and the feeling that you're picking up today. This could also just be, a situation that's, I don't know. It feels like someone's like not letting you, I want to say not letting you go, but I keep seeing that pushing their thumb down on top of you. They want to keep you in your place. They want to keep you confined. They don't want you to have that voice or to move on, to move forward. So be really, really conscious of that. This could have been someone that you were in partnership with. You could have Libra placements. But this is, to me, if none of that's applicable to you, this is a lot about honoring our partnership within ourselves, right? So the most important relationship in our life is to ourselves, not from that space of selfishness, obviously, but when we fill our bucket, then we are able to, give or show up in our life in the best way. And it's like a trickling effect. It actually ends up helping those that surround us. So be conscious, be mindful of the emotions that come up, how you deal with them. Don't react with that Leo fire energy. Leo can definitely run their mouth. No offense, but I do have Leo placement, so I know, you know, it can be a little bit of a intense energy as well. But this is more in the fire. It's someone who will kind of bully and badger you with their words or their actions, hopefully not, in order to kind of get the results that they want. Ooh, yeah, the tower just fell out, guys. I love that. Confirmation from spirit. So something, and I don't feel like this tower is directly related to you. I feel like this tower is happening in your environment or someone else's environment. We have the Knight of the Pentacles, the Knight of Pentacles at the bottom of the deck, and this Ten of Swords energy. So this is someone who keeps repeating the same cycles over and over and over again. It's the same mistakes, and to me it feels like what I'm hearing for you is they made the same mistake over again. And I feel like there's a lot of realization around that. I feel like they are going through a process of humbling, you know, and you can feel this. I feel like you can pick all this stuff up. And this is not the easiest for you to be a part of, because you want to live your life, you want to have your day, you want to be in a good mood or whatever. Again, that goes back to that component of really grounding yourself, giving yourself extra space. If things do come up for you, like I was saying, definitely make sure that you are taking time for you, you know, just, I don't know, even if you're at work, like go to the bathroom for 10 or 15 minutes, take a break, you know. Find ways to protect yourself is what the Seven of Wands is saying. Seven of Wands is I like the Seven of Wands energy because it reminds us that we do have the strength, we do have the potential to navigate whatever we're dealing with, but we either have to see something from a different perspective, you know, or defend ourselves a little bit more, right? Like, yeah, okay, I love this. So this is like, in this deck, this is the Spiritual Seeker card. So this is, you know, it's funny, I was getting this message this morning, like, I just want it to be done. This feels like all the heaviness, all the weight of this past year, you know, however long or whatever, however big the transformation is that you're going through, it has a purpose. You know, it can feel really daunting. We got this message in yesterday's video as well. It can feel really daunting. It can feel really overwhelming and very defeating as well, which is such a bummer, right? When we continually put the work in and we're not seeing the results. But I feel like what is coming out of this time for you, it is strong, it is powerful. Be confident in where spirit is leading you. Unfortunately, not everything feels great, right? I wish it did. I wish everything was in this perfect little package, but it's not. And it's not a good, bad, right, or wrong. It's the evolution. It's the dynamics of life. It's how we grow and prosper. And I love that because the Nine of Pentacles definitely confirms that prosperity. You are heading into a time, if you are doing the work, if you are doing the best that you can, you're heading into a time of more abundance, more openness, more connection with yourself, your spirit, with spirit, etc. And I think it's having that trust, having that faith, being confident in what you're moving towards. This is, you know, everything has its cycle is what I'm hearing with this. It's the first quarter moon. So in the first quarter, we take a step back. We look at what's going on in our life, what we're trying to manifest, the things that we are doing to make that happen. And we assess, is this working? Is this not? Does this fit? Doesn't it? So today, again, confirming that original message around the moon and our emotions, what we're birthing into this world. Yeah, today might be a little bit rough, guys. So just be gentle with yourself with that Two of Wands energy. That's the struggle. It's like the difficulty, right? It's like seeing what we want versus what we have and feeling the tension, feeling that it hasn't come in yet. Or I think a lot of what I keep hearing is the fear that it is not going to. Grounding with that Queen of Pentacles energy in your energy. So staying really grounded, really making sure that you're not getting too thrown off one way or the other. You might be dealing with, there's our Leo card, the King of Wands. So dealing with someone, you know, again, for some of you, you might have a conversation with this person. They might be schmoozing you a little bit today, maybe trying to get back into your good graces. There's something about this that doesn't sit right with you, is what I'm hearing. So be really conscious, really mindful, and even more so, especially if you have physical, verbal interaction with them, being really conscious and mindful of your responses, because this definitely feels like someone who has their own agenda. They're not really willing to see both sides to find some type of cohesive balance and harmony. And I feel, yep, there we go. There's our Tower, guys. Double confirmation, 21:21 on the clock. So it's places where we have to be conscious of our partnerships, love, you know, family, friends, etc. Partnerships are in all partnerships is what I mean. We have to be conscious of those partnerships, but also conscious of ourselves in those environments, in those relationships. And definitely something, if this Tower has not happened, it's bubbling underneath the surface. I wouldn't be surprised if you don't see anything manifest today around this situation. Then during Mercury retrograde, like I said, I wouldn't be surprised. Here's this Three of Swords energy in your environment. So definitely this feels very attached to this King of Wands for me. It doesn't have to be, you know, it's genderless, right? The King of Wands is just more of the masculine fire energy. So this is someone who is really heartbroken, who is struggling a lot. Yeah, with the change. Things have completely changed. I love this Death card because it really is the cutting out of the old. And I feel like this person is feeling this very heavily. It's creating a lot of, you know, kind of turmoil. I think they're trying to look at things in, you know, I hear this message twofold. They're trying to look at things from a diplomatic perspective, but I think it's very hard. The Three of Swords energy brings us into that pain and that grief, and it's really hard to let go of. I also feel like they're getting advice from a more King of Swords energy. So that's air energy, someone who's really intellectual, someone who's not really putting any feeling, emotion into their advice. If anything, they can be a little bit cold, cutthroat, etc. But unfortunately, and this is whatever the situation is, the advice they're listening to, the steps that they're taking, it's actually blocking their happiness. And I feel like you know this. I don't know. This feels like this is a situation that you're like a part of, yes, but I don't feel like this, it's affecting you today emotionally, but you're not necessarily in all the hubbub is what I'm hearing. This is more someone else's mess that they created is what I see. And I feel like the reality is hitting them. There's a lot of disappointment. There's a lot of fear around the changes and what's going to be happening. And maybe right now the Tower, the shakeup is being kept at bay, but it's coming. You know, we can't avoid the Tower. Avoiding the Tower, it's not a bad energy. It gets a bad rap for sure, but avoiding the Tower just makes it worse down the road. I'm speaking from experience. This last year and a half for me has been crazy. Like really crazy. All right. Let's close out with some Oracle and see. I love these cards. Okay, if I can see. Oh, yeah. Humility. I love it. So being humble through the process, even if you're not the one who made the bad decision, or you think it's this other person, other situation's fault and it's not on you, we still have to approach things with humility. Or if you are the person who messed up, be humble, right? Be humble. Sit down. Yeah, so, okay, very interesting. Be humble and celebrate. Yeah, I think this is like, here's the thing. I feel like this is, especially if this energy or this situation's been heavy, it's like celebrate your accomplishments, celebrate what you have achieved, even if it's not how you wanted things to work out, even if it's not what you wanted to happen, you can still celebrate. You can still acknowledge the good. And that's why feelings and emotions are so hard, because we get attached. It's hard to let go of what we want, what we idealize, what we think is the right answer. You know, at the same time it wasn't, and that's okay too. There's more that is unfolding, and the more we kind of dip into the past, connect with an energy that might be wishing us ill will, or doesn't have our best intent at heart, or is trying to manipulate or control us, you know, the more we feed that energy. It's as simple as that. We feed that energy, and then it becomes represented in our life. So surrender to the process, surrender to the storms, to the waves, riding those waves of emotion today, but not letting it throw you off course. Taking time for yourself, like I said, staying healthy, staying well. It's the winter season. Warming soups and stews are so good, so healing for our body, mind, and soul. You know, making sure that you're getting extra rest, going to bed a little bit earlier, especially with the time changes, or, you know, it getting dark way earlier. You know, and maybe try out a little bit of meditating or pranayama, like some yogic breath is what I was hearing, breathing techniques. Those are great ways to like balance the imbalance within us. Pranayama, it aligns our left and right hemisphere, so we're able to process things easier, more fluidly. That's all that means, right? That's the beauty of practices like yoga, meditation, breathing, is, you know, we have the masculine, feminine, the duality within all of us. And when we find that harmony, that is when we are aligning with our authentic self. That is when we are empowering ourselves and being strong. And this is the time right now. This is the day to be gentle with yourself, that nurturing, loving, feminine energy. Take care of your mind, body, soul. Don't be too hard on yourself. And yeah, I will wish you the best. You know, I forgot to like start off with a clearing. I'm going to end the video with a clearing. I did clear the energy beforehand, so you know. I like to, you know, be above board to the best of, to the best of my ability. I'm sure I have some things that are scandalous. All right, guys, thank you so much for your time, your energy. I'm sending you all the love, all the blessings, whatever you're navigating through. Empower yourself, find your inner strength, that sacral chakra, what you want to bring into this world, what you are birthing in. Don't be afraid of that. Go after it. Believe in yourself. Be your own best cheerleader, right? That is what life is all about. So thank you so much for your time, your energy, always sending all the love and blessings your way.